5 Zodiac Signs with Genius Intuition. There are people who feel more than they see. They do not look for evidence, they just know. Their intuition works like an internal compass, catching hidden motives, energy waves and future events before they happen. This is not an accident. This is a power inherent in nature and the zodiac sign. Today I will reveal the top 5 signs whose intuition is not just a premonition, but a real gift, bordering on clairvoyance. They sense lies, predict twists of fate, sense danger and can read people like an open book. They are the ones to trust. They are the ones to whom people reach out in moments of doubt. If you want to know whether you are one of those to whom the universe has given a subtle instrument of intuitive knowledge, watch to the end. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested not in superficial astrology, but in its deep, sacred meaning. And write in the comments how often you felt something that later came true. Perhaps your sign is on this list, ready to reveal the secret of intuition according to the signs of the zodiac. Then let's begin. The first sign is Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign with the deepest, most precise and frighteningly cold-blooded intuition of all. His perception of reality is not based on logic or emotions. He feels people, events and situations from the inside, as if scanning them at the molecular level. He does not ask questions, he looks into the eyes and already knows. His intuition is not a guess, but an internal fact. That is why Scorpio is so rarely mistaken about people. One contact is enough for him to read everything that is important from a person. His intuitive thinking instantly separates truth from lies. Scorpio does not believe words. He reads tone, look, micro-movements. If someone is trying to manipulate or hide information, he understands this even before the end of the phrase. And he begins to act in advance, when others do not even suspect the danger. This allows him to overtake events, avoid traps and manage the situation as if he himself designed it. Scorpio is not just an intuitive, but a strategist who, based on his inner intuition, builds precise models of the future. He sees where the behavior of others leads, anticipates their actions and reacts before a threat begins. His gift is especially strong in critical situations, when the stakes are high and mistakes are unacceptable. Where others get lost, he activates his hidden mechanism, analytical intuition, combined with absolute calm. Scorpio's intuition is also clearly manifested in his ability to anticipate change. He can abruptly abandon a project, leave, change his environment, even if outwardly everything is going well. Because he feels, there will be a cliff ahead, and each time his decision turns out to be accurate. His internal perception system does not explain, but acts. He does not doubt himself, because he has checked many times. When you listen to intuition, you win. Scorpio never draws conclusions out loud, but he has already understood everything important. That is why it is difficult to hide the present around him. His intuition is a tool of control, analysis and protection. It allows him to be one step ahead in any game, in any conversation, in any plan. And if he decides not to trust, it is impossible to change his mind. Because his decisions are not influenced from the outside, they come from within, where there is no chaos, only precision. The second sign is Virgo. Virgo is known for its analytical skills, but few people understand that her rationality is closely intertwined with brilliant intuition. Her mind works like a scanner. It notices details, reads behavioral patterns, records emotions and derives accurate forecasts from them. She does not talk about guesses. She makes conclusions that surprisingly accurately coincide with reality. Her intuition is not emotions, but logic brought to such a depth that it ceases to be conscious. Virgo's intuitive abilities are expressed in her ability to instantly distinguish truth from manipulation. Her sensitivity to distorted information is so high that any discrepancy causes an internal reaction in her. She can listen to a person and simultaneously feel, here is a discrepancy, here is a game, there is a hidden motive. And based on these feelings, build a strategy for communication, behavior and even the choice of environment. Virgo can anticipate the development of events with surgical precision. She is able to calculate the course of a situation several steps ahead, even if outwardly everything looks unpredictable. Her brain connects facts, but the driving force of analysis is always intuition, a subtle inner understanding of where everything is leading. She does not take hasty steps, but when the moment comes, she acts without hesitation. Because at this moment everything inside her says, yes. Virgo's intuition is especially strong in work matters. She feels where there is a prospect, and where there is a hidden danger. She can understand in advance with whom it is not worth cooperating, and who is worth listening to, even if the opinion seems unconventional. This intuition manifests itself not as inspiration, but as a calm and confident inner knowledge, which turns out to be the only true one. Virgo also has a unique sense of the state of other people. She can notice that someone is worried, even if they are trying hard to hide it. Her attention to detail makes her not just perceptive. She is able to recognize lies, manipulation, insecurity and motives before the person realizes that they have been exposed. And once Virgo understands something, she will not let it go, until she gets to the bottom of it. The third sign is Cancer. Cancer senses the mood of others not by facial expressions or words, but literally by their skin. This sign's intuition does not come in the form of guesses. It is instant, specific and clear. He does not need to analyze. He knows exactly who is lying, who is hesitating, and who is bringing destruction under the guise of friendship. Cancer's level of sensitivity is off the charts, but this is not a weakness. This is his warning system. Next to a person who has the wrong intentions, he begins to experience physical discomfort. He may not understand why, but he knows for sure, he needs to leave. The genius of this intuition manifests itself in everyday life, in business, in choice. Cancers are able to reject an offer on a premonition level that looks perfect, but carries hidden traps. They unmistakably feel where you should not go, even if all logic says, this is a chance. They do not need confirmation. When they have a no inside, it always turns out to be true. The only difficulty is to trust yourself, and not the voices around you. Cancers react sharply to changes in the energy of space. If the room was joyful and then became anxious, they will notice it first. If a person smiles but is angry, Cancer will feel it even before he opens his mouth. It is as if they scan intentions. This is especially evident in personal relationships and finances. Cancers are able to sense impending changes long before they manifest. They sense a decline, a crisis, or, conversely, a rise, and begin to act in advance. This is not a guess, not a reflection. This is a direct connection with deep understanding. The uniqueness of Cancer's intuition is that it does not require explanations. He will not build hypotheses. He will simply say, I don't feel it, and he will be right. And every time he went against his intuition, he paid for it. Cancers learn from their own feelings. Their genius is that they do not need advice. Everything they need is already inside. Cancer's intuition works especially well in critical moments. When others are at a loss, they instantly sense where to go. When threats arise, their senses are heightened to the limit. That is why Cancers often save not only themselves, but also others. They pull people out of trouble, simply because they sense that something was wrong. The strength of this sign is not in their minds, but in contact with themselves. They know how to listen to silence. It is in this silence that answers are born that no one else will hear. They know when it is time to act and when to freeze. And even if the whole world is in a hurry, Cancer can stop and wait, because they feel that it is not yet time. That is why they find themselves at the right point at the right moment. Cancers are not always able to explain what is happening, but they are never wrong in their feelings. Their intuition is an internal beacon that works without failures. The main thing is that Cancer himself learns to trust him and does not allow others to knock him off course. Because his feelings are the true map of reality. The fourth sign is Aries. Aries does not think, he acts. And in this action, There is always hidden intuition. He goes where he needs to be, says what needs to be said, takes a step in the direction where others are not yet looking. His intuition is the speed of reaction, an instant understanding of the situation. He does not need to think, he just knows. And this impulse, as if not from the head, but from the depths of the body, leads him exactly to the target. In Aries, intuition is combined with decisiveness. He feels when an opportunity opens up, and does not waste a second. Even if it looks like he is taking a risk without preparation, in fact, he has calculated everything in a split second. He does not need advice, he does not seek approval. His internal orientation system works more accurately than any forecast. Aries take a step, and are the first, simply because they seize the moment before everyone else. Their intuition is especially strong in a competitive environment. Aries feels who is capable of what. He can instantly determine who he is dealing with. Hypocrites, manipulators, weak players. He sees right through them, even if he says only a couple of phrases. And he instantly understands where there is a chance to win, and where there is a trap. Not from logic, from feelings. Intuition is especially powerful in an unstable situation. When everything collapses, when the rules change, when no one understands what to do, Aries moves forward. He is guided not by a plan, but by a sense of direction. And this feeling never deceives. He intuitively chooses the right allies, feels who to trust and who to stay away from. This intuition is not loud, not mystical, it is practical and infallible. Aries do not waste time on explanations. They feel the moment and act. They will not always explain why they did this, but the result speaks for itself. Their intuition is lightning-fast orientation in chaos. Their strength is in self-confidence. They can ignore advice, because their inner signal says, go. And they go, and win. The genius of Aries' intuition is that it is not burdened by fear. He does not think about the consequences. If he feels, it is necessary. His reaction is accurate, because he does not doubt. He does not stop the flow of his energy, and it is in this flow that intuitive hits are born. He can guess the solution to a complex problem, find a loophole in negotiations, predict the course of events, and all this without analysis, simply because he felt it. If Aries begins to doubt, he loses his advantage. But when he believes his feelings, nothing can stop him. All the power of his intuition is in movement. He does not wait for confirmation, he goes. And he always ends up ahead. Precisely because his intuition leads where no one has gone yet. The fifth sign is Libra. Libras have an amazing ability to recognize the energies of intentions, movements and decisions. Their intuition is based not on feelings or logic, but on the ability to grasp the subtlest balance between the external and the internal. They literally feel when a situation is out of balance, and are able to react instantly, even before an open conflict or crisis arises. Their gift is an understanding of what is happening, without unnecessary words. Libras instantly read the mood, intentions, hidden impulses. They feel a lie, even if it sounds beautiful. If someone tries to convince them with words, they have long felt what is behind it. And therefore their decision does not always coincide with the obvious, but subsequently turns out to be the only correct one. Their intuition is a subtle system of internal balance, tuned to honesty and depth. Representatives of this sign do not like conflicts, but they are the ones who are able to sense tension before anyone else. They feel when the situation becomes unsafe, when words cease to be sincere, when the energy in the space begins to change. And they take action before others realize what is happening. This makes them especially reliable in difficult situations. They know how to find a point of stabilization, even when everything around them is collapsing. Libra's intuition is especially evident in social interactions. They immediately sense who is lying, who is manipulating, who is hiding important information. Their gift is in a subtle understanding of motives. They may not voice their guesses, but at the right moment they will say the exact phrase that will put everything in its place. They cannot be deceived, because they feel more than they hear. And they act on the basis of what they understand between the lines. Libra's intuitive system is a compass built into their thinking. They can recognize in which direction events are developing, who is not playing by the rules, and who is truly valuable. This gives them the ability to make subtle, almost imperceptible maneuvers that lead to a strong result. And when it seems like they are just observing,